actor Richa Chadha has mocked the Galwan martyrs. Okay, so this is the latest tweet that's coming in from Richa Chadha, and she is talking about the Galwan martyrs after the armies will take back POK dare. Actor Richa Chadha has responded by tweeting that Galwan says hi. So we know that Richa Chadha is one of those few actors who doesn't shy away from making political statements, and this is the latest statement that is coming in from Richa Chadha, and of course there is a lot of social media fire that she is currently under, and this tweet was made in reaction to the statement of Northern Army Commander Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi that the Indian Army is ready to take POK back, and the actor on Twitter made reference to Galwan. Of course, she just shared that statement saying Galwan says hi. Now, there have of course been political reactions coming into this. BJP's Manjinder Singh Sirsa has said disgraceful tweet, it should be withdrawn at the earliest. He's saying, and he said this is an insult to our armed forces. He's saying insulting our armed forces is not justified. So if our viewers remember, there was that famous 2020 Galwan clash in which we did have the sacrifice of our soldiers, and that's the incident that Richa Chadha is referring to. And going across to my colleague Akash, who joins us with more political reactions coming into this. Akash, like we were telling our viewers, BJP's Manjinder Singh Sirsa has reacted to it. He's saying this is an insult to our armed forces. What are the other reactions that we're getting to this tweet of Richa's?
Exactly, and Shilpa, in fact, political parties and political leaders are now demanding a case against Richa Chadha for mocking and insulting Indian Army. So, actress Richa Chadha made a post on Twitter reacting to the statement of Northern Army Commander Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi that the Indian Army is ready to take Pakistan-occupied Kashmir back. And, the actor made a reference to Galwan and tweeted, Galwan says hi. And, it is in the backdrop after the violent clash in Galwan in 2020. We know the escalated conditions between the India and China at the actual line of control. And at a time when we know that just few days back, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh maintained that how, we are all set. And in fact, army is full ready to take the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and our own part. And, at this point in time, while Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi, was talking about the same. Richa Chadha, quoted his tweet and, somewhere tried this particular comment, which as per the social media users and also as per some political leaders is a disgraceful tweet and is disrespect to Indian Army. And that's the reason why now we are getting this particular reaction from Manjinder Singh Sirsa and also from a number of leaders that, a case should be registered against Richa Chadha. Also, let me quote, and Manjinder Singh Sirsa says, this graceful tweet should be withdrawn at the earliest. Insulting our armed forces is not justified. So this is what Manjinder Singh Sirsa has to say. And, Manjinder Singh Sirsa is a BJP leader, and not only Manjinder Singh Sirsa, but Richa Chadha at this point in time is, facing this backlash from a number of social media users, in fact, because at one point in time, while an army officer is talking about the line of control, she's making reference of the actual line of control. And actually, the incident that happened in year 2020, when there was a violent clash between the soldiers of India and China at the actual line of control and in Galwan Valley.
Okay, so on your screens there, you can see on the left-hand side the tweet that was made by Richa Chadha, which has caused a furor. She's responded to that tweet from the commander saying Galwan says hi. The commander-in-chief in Northern Command had said we are prepared to take POK back. And in response to that, that's what she said, Galwan says hi. And many have construed this as an insult to the martyrs going, and on your right hand side, that's, the kind of interpretation that people have made, that the BJP leaders have said it's a disgraceful tweet and it should be withdrawn at the earliest. And he's saying insulting our armed forces is not justified. Going back to my colleague Akash, who brings us all the reactions that are coming into this. Akash, does Richa Chadha find any supporters in this? The statement she's made there is saying Galwan says hi, a reference, of course, to that violent clash in 2020 at Galwan. Could there be a kinder interpretation of this tweet which doesn't construe it as a direct insult to the forces?
The only Richa Chadha can further clarify as to what was her intention behind this tweet. But as far as social media is concerned, so Shilpa, you see, we are seeing a number of users basically, trying to get the explanation of the particular tweet from the Express. And also, as far as Galwan Valley is concerned and Galwan area is concerned, we know that it is close to the actual line of control, and we know the kind of developments that have happened in this particular area. Also, let me mention this very fact that Northern Army Commander Lieutenant General Upen Dwivedi's statement on this particular day was in the context of Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh's earlier assertion, where he said that India's goal is to reclaim POK, which is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and I quote, "We have just begun our journey of development in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. We'll achieve our goal when we reach Gilgit and Baltistan." This was the particular statement by Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh. And after that, we saw a number of, officers, in fact, top-level officers, maintaining the very fact that how Indian Army is
also joined by Colonel Rohit Dev on the phone line. Very good morning to you, sir. What is your reaction to Richa's tweet? Galwan says hi in response to the Commanding-in-Chief of Northern Command.
I think it's a very immature behavior by a citizen of India who does not consider the valor of our armed forces in the way it needs to be pegged. And such immaturity, just for some political token to be taken ahead, is such a poor thought. And I think that Richa Chadha's tweet I saw last evening when I came back from somewhere at 11:30 in the evening, and I also tweeted, I think it's absolutely unbecoming of a citizen. I actually wanted to use very cuss words last evening, but she was a lady. I left it at that. And I think it's just not done. What are you, as an example, setting for the next generation to poke your Indian armed forces for the valor they show on that feature? Galwan was the place where young men died and sacrificed their life for this nation, standing on a cliff and fighting the enemy by the dozen and killing more than 3 times of their strength in unarmed combat. And we don't expect any citizen in this country to come out with such, an attitude and such a behavior that it's absolutely appalling. I mean, what is that tweet? Galwan says hi. I think the Indian armed forces can say hi to everybody, across the border, and also these third-rate people who think that just because they have social media handles with blue tick, they can go ahead and talk anything and convey anything. It's a very sad commentary. And I don't know who this lady Richa Chadha is, frankly. But, I mean, if she's a political inclination kind of a lady, or she's, some kind of a, product of a bloody institute, I don't care. I think such people should be called out. And thank you as an agency today in the media that you have called her out early in the morning, because I had tagged all the media agencies to come hard at this and expose such people. They merit no attention. In fact, one way was to avoid this time, but I don't think so. Such comments are avoidable because they are the, start points for other people and, that army of the cabal here in this country to take over and talk like this about our armed forces. So I think it's very, very unfortunate. And there should be a severe action taken on this lady and what she meant. And I'm quite sure there are ways to deal with these people. If they're making quick bucks sitting with blue ticks and tweeting this nonsense against my country, I think we need to go into their accounts, we need to go into their personal lives, and we need to expose them. And I think it's enough we have had, and armed forces cannot defend themselves on such stupid comments.
Okay,
but
sir,
media...
Sir, please